Here we are back again, right? Iron Beyond Driven. I'm Jake. I'm here to talk about the road to 700 pounds. Now, as you can see, I'm wearing the appropriate gym attire. I'm actually not headed to the gym. I got a couple errands to run, and then I got a couple places to be. Got to go to a wedding later, so I decided, well, might as well get dressed now, run the errands. That way I'm just ready to go, because I don't know if you fellas have wives or girlfriends, but sometimes we tend to run a little late, and that's all I'm gonna have to say about that. So I'm gonna be ready to go. I wanted to film this video because I just finished my training last night, and holy shit, what a fucking training session that was. Got absolutely shreked at the gym, shreked my legs, shreked my lower back, shreked everything, right? So not only that, but you know, still on it with the benching and the pressing and the pulling, weighted pull-ups. I'm gonna talk real quick about weighted pull-ups before we get into the squat training and the bench training and the deadlift training. Weighted pull-ups, I mean, 5 weeks of weighted pull-ups has absolutely morphed my back. It doesn't even look remotely the same, and that's 5 weeks of vertical pulling that I've never done. Or I guess I shouldn't say never done, but I haven't done in probably 7-8 years. This is the last time I freaking actually did pull-ups like consistently in a workout program. And not even so, it's changed my back so much that my lats look so much wider and just more developed. So much so that I decided that every upper body day I'm just gonna be doing pull-ups. I'm gonna just send it. I'm gonna just do pull-ups. I'll probably start out with 3 sets of 10, 4 sets of 10, up to 5 sets of 10, and then taper it back down. And then on my secondary bench day, I'm gonna be doing the weighted pull-ups, and I'm up to 8 reps with 45 pounds, which for me, I'm a 220-pound guy. Like 45-pound plate, pretty damn solid. I definitely want to work up to 90 pounds. Obviously, who doesn't want more weight? I feel great when I do them. I feel like for my shoulder integrity, since I have those shoulder issues, I feel like it's good to get that weighted hang and to hang down, and for decompressing the spine. I really think that pull-ups are pretty goated for a number of different things. So those are my thoughts on pull-ups real quick. My back has changed so much in the last 5 weeks. Basically, the program I wrote out for myself is a 5-week program. So we're done with 5 weeks, and we're recycling. We're gonna go right back to square one. We're going with the lowest percentages. On day one, I did 365-pound squats, and I did 3 sets of 5. Well, yeah, 3 sets of 5, but the last set you're supposed to do as many as you can, and so I ended up doing 10. Now 365 is 70%. 70% is my new 365 is my new 70%. Last training cycle, I did it 365 for 10, but I was wearing wraps. This time, I did not find my wraps. And, I said, fuck it, I'm just going to do it, no wraps, no sleeves, no nothing. And I don't know, I mean, I didn't have my squat shoes either, but I don't know if it's because of that or because I did hack squats instead of leg press, but my legs were destroyed, absolutely destroyed the next 2 days. And I haven't really felt leg soreness in I don't know how long. Like, a lot of times, like quads, right? A lot of times I feel sore in the glutes or the low back or something, but for whatever reason, my quads were lit the fuck up. And I also tried a new recovery method of doing of rolling out my quads, so I think maybe that could have something to do with it. But anyways, my legs were destroyed. So I did that, 365 pounds, and then I did 185 pounds for 3 sets of 10 on front squats, just to get that volume in there. I did RDLs with 455, and that lit up my hamstrings, my glutes. 455 pounds for 3 sets of 5. And then I just did my hack squats and my hamstring curls, which I tend to skip, or I have skipped in the last, I think last 2 weeks of my program, because someone's always on the leg press, and we only have one in the gym. So from now on, if that's the case, I'm just gonna do hack squats. Before, I've done leg extensions, but now I'm gonna do hack squats because those feel pretty damn good. And going all the way ass to grass is pretty easy to do on the machine. So I'm gonna switch it up a little bit, probably do hack squats, see if I grow any bigger legs, right? So that was that. I did my mobility stuff afterwards, which is just like light stretching, like yoga shit. And then day 2, which is the heaviest, hardest day of the week for me. It's usually a top set. There's one top set of squats. And for me, this time it was 5 reps, and I did 455 pounds. Now, I did a top set of 3 in my last training cycle with 455 pounds. Felt like I was about to die. This 455 pound top 5 was no different. I was seeing, by the 4th rep, like I was seeing God. Like, I don't know what it is with reps and squats, especially when they get a certain percentage or a certain heaviness. Like, I've done 315 for 20, you know, I've done 135 pounds for 100 rep sets. Like, I've done high rep squats before, but for whatever reason, when you get like over 4 plates for me, repping anything out it hurts. It physically hurts. And so I don't understand these guys that are doing, you know, 600 pounds for triples. It's insane. You know, hopefully maybe one day we can get there, but right now I'm humbled by 55 pounds of reps. And that's coming from I squatted 525, and 455 is a struggle, and 550 is my goal for the next meet, if not 600 by the end of the year. So, you know, we'll have to wait and see how squats go, because these top sets, I always try to push them, but they always humble me. So top set of 5, went straight into deadlifts. I'm not doing any deadlifts from the floor in the next 5 weeks. I'm gonna see if that helps. My deadlift is very leg drive driven. You know, it's very speedy off the floor. And I figure everyone says work on your weaknesses, work on your weaknesses. But what happens if you double down on your strengths, right? So if my weakness is the lockout, well, is the lockout weak because my glutes are weak, or because my hamstrings are weak, or is the lockout weak because my speed off the floor still isn't where it should be? Because if you get enough velocity, enough force on that bar, it's not going to stop moving at the knees or above the knees, you know? If you get enough speed off the floor, it's just going to keep on moving, right? So my thought is double down on my strength of speed on my deadlifts with deficit pulls, and pull the shit out of the deficit pulls, right? And it's about an 1.5 deficit. So pull the shit out of that and see what happens. Maybe my deadlift will, you know, explode. I haven't done deficits programmed probably in about a year, maybe 2 years. And back then I was pulling like 500s, and I was doing them way different than doing them for volume. I was doing like working up to a top set of 1. I would just warm up with deficit pulls, and then I would take away the deficit, and then the pull felt much easier. I got away from that once I started doing some more volume deadlift work and trying to fix my freaking lockout, because I always thought the lockout was the weak point. But now I've worked so hard on getting my lockout, and I'm obviously still working that with the RDLs and the squats, right? Bulgarian split squats. I'm working my glutes heavy, but with the deadlift specifically, instead of just doing normal straight weight volume, why not add that deficit to make my leg drive even better, you know? Double down on my strengths and make that even better, fire off even better. So we'll see how it goes. This week was only like, it was supposed to be 415 for 65%, but I did 425 because math is hard. And so I did 425 for 3 sets of 5. Deficit pulls, they felt great, but I could definitely tell that they were deficit. Like they were long fucking pulls, that's for sure. But no problems there. They felt fucking great. I moved on to the weighted back extensions, which is probably my favorite accessory movement for deadlifts. Not only do they just look badass, they're a chatty exercise. Shit. Alright, I had to restart the video, or not restart, but pick up where I left off. My wife was calling. So basically, yeah, deficit deadlifts, double down on your strengths, work on your weaknesses, true, right? But double down on your strengths. What makes you good? What makes you good at what you do? and fucking hit that, hammer it, because your strength will always be a strength. And like people talk shit and say, of course you're gonna do what you're good at. Like if you have big ass arms, of course you're gonna love training arms, right? And I love training arms, and I like to think I have pretty big arms. But double down on that. Everyone makes comments about my arms, you know, like how do you get such big arms and traps? Those are the two things that everyone asks. And I mean, one answer is yes, I'm genetically gifted with bigger arms, I think, or at least genetics with to build bigger arms. You know, I got short arms and things like that. But at the same time, I doubled down on my strength and I worked the shit out of them, you know. And I want them to be like, since I'm gifted in that, I want them to be even better than they would be if I just skipped them all the time. I used to do that all the time. I used to just say, oh, bicep curls, whatever. Like, I don't want to do bicep. Like, just train your rows and your pull-ups and your deadlifts, and your arms will grow. Like, that's a small way, narrow-minded way of thinking. And if you want to truly get the most out of your training, you gotta isolate your arms and shit, right? And because it's not only about strength, at least for me, like, obviously the 700-pound deadlift is that's a huge goal of mine. That's the number one thing in my mind. But at the same time, I don't want to be, you know, I don't want to sacrifice hypertrophy. I mean, sacrifice a little bit of it, right? But I think more hypertrophy equals more strength gains anyway. So no problems there. Anyways, after the weighted back extensions, which are, like I was saying, my favorite accessory for lockout and just for an insane lower back pump. Like the lower back pump I got doing 225 for 10 was insane. 185 for 10, like that. Those were, I was really pushing it on a 10 rep set. And you know, accessories, you got to chase them. I say it every single time, but you got to chase your accessories. You got to go hard. And speaking of that, I went absolutely hard on my Bulgarian split squats. And I find if you lean over more, you're targeting a lot more glute and hamstring. You're still getting some quad activation there too, but a lot more glute and hamstring, which is what I'm really trying to get out of my Bulgarian split squats. And I could do lunges, right? But Bulgarians for me are the most uncomfortable and painful thing that I can think of. Because I want to be in pain and uncomfortable, because that trains us to be better at everything, right? I choose Bulgarian split squats, even though I'm probably better at lunges. So I did 100 pounds each side. I really want to work my way to the 150s. We'll see how long that takes. I feel like I could probably do it, but it's just a matter of if I'm able to do 10 reps a side, or if I'm gonna have to take a break in between legs, which would just draw out my workout even longer. And I was already in the gym for like 2 hours yesterday, just hammering shit. So 3 sets of 10 Bulgarian split squats, classic bodybuilding style, but they're accessories. And like I said, push your accessories, not only for hypertrophy, because hypertrophy is for strength, but for strength as well. You know, building the strength on split squats is going to build your strength on deadlifts. It's going to build your strength on squats, you know. And, you know, Pete Rubish, one of the greatest deadlifters in my opinion, at least of our generation, you know, he credits split squats and weighted back extensions. And that's what I do. So split squats and back extensions, those are fucking prime time, big money. And then let's see what else. What did I do after the split squat? Oh yeah, GHR or GHD. This time I actually added weights, and I tell you what, man, like hamstrings were so pumped. They're so sore today. The weighted hamstring curl on a GHD is just insane. I only did 30 pounds, and I did 2 sets with weight and 1 set no weight, and that's okay, right? Just get your sets in and do them how you see fit. But I feel like my hamstrings always need extra work. Everyone's hamstrings probably need extra work. Everyone's quads are always over-dominating their hamstrings. And when you have a muscle imbalance like that, it can lead to more injuries in the hamstrings. That's why a lot more people pull hamstrings. Like tearing a quad is pretty rare unless you're kind of like, I mean, knock on wood, right? But it seems like you tear quads when you're on the juice. The only quad tears that I know of are like dudes in pro wrestling who tear their quad doing silly things, and then there's the powerlifters who tear their quads squatting. But I'll go on the record and say I don't know if that happening in a natural setting where people are not on gear. And nothing against the gear users. I'm just saying that I think that, you know, your tendons and ligaments, obviously everyone knows this, right? Your tendons and ligaments don't catch up to your muscle growth or strength when you're on gear. So guys will tear their quads a lot doing heavy ass squats in powerlifting meets. And I honestly think it's because of the gear. You know, you're not going to be squatting over your tendon strength really as a natural. So, but people will snap their hamstrings like doing a sprint or doing Bulgarian split squats or doing deadlifts, you know. So I think hamstring work is always, additional hamstring work is always a good thing. If you need something at the end of your leg workouts, I would suggest doing hamstring curls or GHDs. And then I did abs. So this is like the second workout in 2 weeks that I've done abs, and I'm gonna try to progressively do abs more, because I like I was just saying with muscle imbalances. Let's say my lower back is insanely strong, right? Like I'm doing weighted pull. I don't know about insanely strong, but it's strong, right? Like I'm doing weighted back extensions with 225 pounds. Most people grab a 45-pound plate and do it. I'm doing it with fucking 225 pounds, and I've done it up to 300 pounds. 305 is what I've done it up to. So if my lower back is that strong and my abs, I can't do, you know, a set with, you know, 60 pounds of sit-ups. Like there's an imbalance there. So I'm trying to work my core more, not only for hypertrophy of the core, because who doesn't want abs, you know, when they cut down. Like I'm a big 25% body fat guy, like 220 pounds at 5'8". So I'm not gonna see my abs, right? But I do want to train them so that when I cut down, I will have thick abs. But also because, like I was saying with the arms, you know, you want to isolate these smaller muscle groups. And like as a power lifter, you don't think about this shit, but for, you know, everyone says back squats and deadlifts and work your core, bro, you know, and it's true, they will, but I want some extra stuff. Injury prevention is what I'm looking for at this point. And I feel like it all makes sense when you get past, when I'm trying to push for 700 pounds, now I'm starting to think about injury prevention and like what I can do for total body strength and hypertrophy over, you know, just fucking hoisting some weight, right? Like, I don't want to end up getting hurt chasing this goal of mine. So that's that. It was a brutal freaking week. I'm still gonna do conditioning probably tomorrow. I'm adding in some conditioning every week, whether it's like a CrossFit workout, which you probably saw in my week 2 of 52. I did a CrossFit workout. I've been doing nickels and dimes for like David Goggins style stuff. Most of my conditioning is going to be muscular endurance. I'm not really going to do like straight up cardio like running. I've been doing some rows. I did another conditioning workout where it's 10 push-ups, 10 rows, 15-minute workout, like as many rounds as you can go. It's just little things like that which you can build up your endurance and your work capacity, because that's only gonna like make these 2-hour workouts easier if I have a better gas tank to go off of. And you get that fucking heart strong. You want to get your heart and your lungs strong too. Total body, right? Bodybuilding, like it's not the sport of bodybuilding, but bodybuilding as in building your entire body, your lungs, your heart, your muscles, your mind, everything, right? So that's what I'm going after this week. I'm having, my mindset is on point right now. I feel like I've never been so focused. I'm still drinking my kale juice in the morning. I'm taking my creatine every single day. I'm getting my protein powder in. I feel good. A pound of ground beef a day. So we're really working out here, man. And 700 pounds is gonna fucking happen. I know it is. It's gonna happen. And whatever you guys are doing, whatever goals you're chasing in the gym, you're gonna fucking make it happen too. If you've made it this far, it's a long ass video. I kind of rambled a bit, but if you made it this far, like, subscribe, all that stuff. You know, I don't want to be Mr. Cheese Dick YouTube guy, but you know, if I could remind you guys, that'd be great. All right, peace.